Hello, you lovely, lovely pro sim racing fans, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. And we, in this stream, are covering the Ultimate Racing League, the Group Racing Sunday Championship, Season 1, League of Champions, Round 9. Sponsored by Dubby and Eldridge Air Conditioning. If you want to stay chill, then get yourself some EAC on the go. Right then, wow, we're coming so close. This is the penultimate round. This is round 9, and then that's it. One final round, and I have got to say, it has been a roller coaster of emotions. Some good, some bad. It's been great. It's been an absolutely fantastic championship. Everyone involved has put their all in. And that's counting the admins on that as well. Unforgiven and Dirgeview absolutely smashing it. Muhammad Ali with all of the replays throughout the season. Everyone, it takes a village, people. It's not a single solo outfit. It is a group of like-minded people making things work. So after 8 rounds, the championship, it is tasty, isn't it? It really is tasty. It is looking like this. Toby still at the top on 271 points, and Bailey in second on 228 points. But Bailey has dropped around already this season, where Toby is yet to drop around. And, I mean, if I'm looking at Toby's worst, he got a 3rd and a 4th, but he got a 2nd and a 5th. He's gonna, I mean, it's still a big bunch of points that he is set to lose. So that's going to be very tight when that all shakes out. And Bailey has been on a one-man mission to destroy all that comes ahead of him. In the last 2 rounds, Bailey has lifted it to another level. So Toby, he's probably rather nervous, sat at that top tier at the moment. He's probably looking as slightly one-eyed at Bailey, thinking, what are you playing at? So Toby on 271 points, Bailey on 228 points. In third, it's joint third with Smith and Victor on 177 points. Osman in 5th on 175 points. Just 2 points behind them. Then we've got Brisbane in 6th on 167 points. Unforgiven in 7th on 151 points. Fitzy in 8th on 149 points. With Toten in 9th on 148 points. There's a little... It's really... From 3rd all the way down to 9th, it is tight. Anything could change there. Grasshopper is 10th on 126 points. Still in the fight, I'd say. Neil Farmack is 11th on 105 points, and he has been absolutely collecting points the last couple of rounds. So Neil Farmack, one to watch come the end of the season. Dirgeview is 12th with 81 points. Kenny D 13th on 68 points. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving into the relegation area. 14th is Muhammad Ali on 62 points. In 15th, Wacky Racer on 25 points. Granted, he's only done a couple of rounds. And Callum 16th on 24 points. So it looks like Wacky Racer and Callum certainties to go down to League One. And Muhammad Ali, there's still fight with Kenny D to be had. But we shall see how these things go. They're also running another championship because it is the Group Racing Sunday Championship. So there are teams. 2 people from each league represent a team, and they've been accumulating points throughout the whole 6 leagues. 5 leagues. I don't think League 5 are counting points. So at the top of that championship, we've got the touring cars representatives on 1,793. That's Toby and Unforgiven's team. In second place, we have the F1 Benetton team on 1,492 points. I mean, let's face it, touring cars have pretty much sliced and diced that one, and they've got to be claiming the win on that. But in second place, 1,492 points for the Benetton team. That's Osman's team. I can't remember who else drove. Oh, and Muhammad Ali, sorry. Muhammad Ali and Osman's team. In third place, we have the Martini team on 1,400 points, only 92 points behind the F1 team. They might be able to topple them over. Now, let me see if I can remember who drives for the Martini team. I want to say that it's Fitzy and Jesus. It's not Grasshopper, is it? No. Derg was Lick and Molly, I'm sure. I can't remember. In fourth place is the NASCAR team on 1,351 points. So they're only 49 points behind third. It's tight, actually. I was there saying nothing changed. But yeah, the NASCAR team, they're represented by Brisbane and I think Toten. Then in fifth place, we have the WEC represented on 13. Oh, I've got that wrong. If they're on 1,351. And it says the WC team's on 1381, so I've made a mistake there somewhere. But yeah, they're fifth. Oh, don't make me try and remember. I think Neil Farmack is representing them. Who else have I seen in a cool grey and black car? Oh, bugger. Do you know what? Covered 8 rounds of this. You think I'd know exactly what cars they were in like that, but I cannot remember, sorry. In sixth place, we have the Red Bull team on 1,238 points, and they have Victor and Smith representing them. And then we have in seventh, Iron Forge on 1,121 points, I believe. Kenny D and Callum possibly are their representatives. And in eighth place, we have Licker Molly on 1,117 points, only 4 points behind Iron Forge. It could be a turnover today. And Licker Molly, obviously, represented by Bailey. And I think that one's, I can't remember, Dergview. What the hell, we'll say that. That's the championships, ladies and gentlemen. Only one more of those to read out. Hey, yeah, and then it's all change again. I'll be off to a new league. I'm not quite sure how we're going to be doing it, but I'll find out at the end of the season what league I'm covering, I'm sure. Right then. So they had 10 or 15 minutes of qualifying here around Trial Mountain, and this is how the grid has shaken out after that, after they've absolutely blasted it hard. So on pole, we have Bailey. This puts Bailey's poles at 4. Toby's are at 3. Brisbane 1. Osman 1. So Toby only has one more chance this season to pull it back. Bailey has been on an absolute... He's been slinging Nissan the last 2 rounds, getting 2 wins from each round. And he is really starting to pressure Toby in that championship. In second place, we have Brisbane. He has loomed large this season. He has picked up 3 wins out of this season, 1 pole, and sitting 6th in the championship isn't a true... He's missed 2 rounds. That doesn't help for Brisbane. But he'll be starting in second place, and he'll be looking for Maximo points. Then in third, we have Fitzy. Fitzy, who drives for Martini. That's what I said, didn't it? Did I say that? I don't know. But Fitzy, in the Martini team, he is one of only 5 drivers this season who has gained a win. And he's had a good season. An absolutely strong season, sitting in 8th and only a couple of points behind Unforgiven, and he'll be looking to take over Unforgiven in this championship. Then in 4th place, again, like last round, Toby. Has he lost the touch? Well, no, because I boasted last week that Toby had something like, let me count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive sprint race wins, and they all came to an end last round, but he got a feature win. So he is still rolling with 6 consecutive wins from the last 6 rounds. So Toby going great guns. He's had 3 poles and 6 wins this season. Well, the 6 wins that I just spoke of. Okay, have fun. The wife's off out. Right then, in 5th place, we've got Osman, also a winner this season in round 1, and he has a pole to his name. He's sitting 5th in the championship, 2 points behind that Red Bull battle between Smith and Victor, and so far we've seen no Red Bulls here, so Osman looking to regain that championship position. In 6th place, Grasshopper, driving for... there's the other WEC driver. There you go. Sorry, Grasshopper, I should have known. And Grasshopper, sitting 10th in the championship. He's quite a few points off Toten, but it's not undoable. It's not ridiculous for him to catch Toten. So Grasshopper, he'll be looking for major points today. Starting in 6th, his highest finish this season has been 5th. So he'll be looking to better that. His best round was round 2 at Deep Forest with 2 5th place finishes. Followed up by Laguna Seca with a 6th and a 5th. So Grasshopper will be trying to break into that top 4 this round. In 7th place, he's out of uniform, ladies and gentlemen. Unforgiven, not carrying the team colours, doing a little bit of self-promotion for the league. We've only got 2 rounds. He might as well get it in while he can. Look, there we go. It's the Ultimate Racing League, if you weren't sure. It's on Facebook. They've got a Discord. They've got 5 leagues running on a Sunday evening. They have numerous races, including ACC, during the week. If you're not signed up, and we're at round 9, and you've watched all the other rounds, what go on with you? What happened? Get yourself signed up. Get yourself racing. You're a pro sim racer. You know you're a pro sim racer. Don't let the haters win. Get yourself on track and prove it to the world. So, yeah, just because he didn't turn up in his normal livery, for heaven's sakes. Right then, unforgiven, it was 7th. Victor, the top Red Bull rider, is in 8th place. The Red Bulls taking a step back at Trail Mountain. Maybe the Nissan setup not working for our Red Bull partnership here. But Victor starting all the way down in 8th place, and he's not used to that. Victor has had a glorious season so far with a plethora of podiums. He's walked away from this season with a fair whack of silverware, but no gold, unfortunately. It has eluded him. Oh, Toten, last round. I don't want to give you spoilers if you haven't seen it, but Toten broke my heart in the last race. And I'm still not quite over it, I've got to say. But Toten qualifying in 9th spot. And I tell you, we see Victor and Toten have some absolute battle royales in that last round, and they are starting alongside each other. So we're going to get some big uns, I believe, between the 2 Hungarian drivers. In 10th place, where we're not used to seeing him. When he turns up to qualify, he qualifies. But Neil Farmack starting down in 10th place. This is the man that's finished on the podium the last 3 rounds. And he has had a strong end to the season after missing a fair few rounds. Saved himself from relegation. The man is a walking hero, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely better than Brad Pitt in the new film. That's going to be awful. Right then, and here we have in 11th place. Oh, that is dead sexy, man. Oh, that's dead sexy. I might have to take a pic. It's not going to be the thumbnail. It could be, though. Under the yellow lights. Do you know what I mean? That's just special. That is special. Oh, let me get a perfect angle on there. Oh, darling, you're looking so fabulous. Let me just get a snap of that. Oh, I think I want some of them yellow lights in the background, though. Oh, yeah, another one, but darling. Oh, you're looking so fabulous. Oh, I can't help but take pictures of you. One more, just one more. No. Okay, so that's Kenny D. Sorry, I got carried away there. In 11th place, and Kenny D, he's been having some good finishes, so it is very strange that we're seeing these guys this far back on the grid, but in a league where it is so tight and so close, even those in 11th are faster than your average pro sim racer. Right, then scurry up to the front. I don't know why. I could just quit out of this. I just felt like I wanted to run past all these cars. Woo! Woo! I'm getting silly now, because it's the last couple of rounds. I'm trying to milk it. I'm going to miss these guys. I really am. I've really enjoyed. But then I really enjoyed League One the season before. So, and I'm going to enjoy whoever I get dumped on next. Yeah, I feel sorry for the ones who I get dumped on, in all fairness. They've got to put up with me for a season, getting it wrong every turn. Okay. So let's get this race underway, shall we? Bailey on pole. He ain't playing no more. This championship, he is got his sights set. And Brisbane in second, Fitzy in third, and the lights have gone. And Bailey floors the Nissan as he heads towards that first corner. Tricky corner, uphill. You've got to scub some of the speed as you enter into it because of the right hand that comes extremely straight after, and then delicately with the accelerator around this wiggly part before heavy braking under the bridge in the hairpin. And look at them all tight up there. Bailey, Brisbane, Fitzy, Toby, none of them are messing about. Osman, and then we have Grasshopper, Unforgiven, Victor, Toten, Neil Farmack and Kenny D. No change yet here in the order of things, but Bailey getting busy. He's getting busy building up a buffer. Bailey holding back the tide for him. Hey, is there a little bit of inter-team play with Fitzy searching out? He's getting a tow now. I think Brisbane may have lost the tow from Bailey. Now he's trying to break the tow with Fitzy. Fitzy in the sweet spot. My hubba. He's coming up to the break-ins. He's onto the brakes. And oh my word, but Brisbane just a little bit braver than our man Fitzy. And he survives. No, Fitzy gets it. Fitzy gets it on the apex. But Brisbane coming back strong. And Fitzy gets the overdrive there and stays ahead. I mean, Brisbane gets the overdrive, stays ahead, and Toby right stuck in the middle of that battle as he sees his closest rival disappear into the scenery as Osman tries to find a way past the super alien that is Toby. And yes, Osman looking left, looking right. He's trying to find him. He's having pokes, he's having digs, he's trying to find a chink in his armour. And Fitzy's had a mistake. Oh my good golly gosh, what happened to Fitzy? Everything looks pretty good there. We only popped back 10 seconds. It should be any second now. Coming down the hill. Just misjudged. No, everything is sweet. Oh, and the Nissan's back end was so into the corner, it just carried on wanting to go round. And Fitzy, all that qualifying for naught. He must be absolutely fuming in the cockpit of that Nissan. Poor Fitzy as Bailey disappears. But no, Brisbane staying with him. Brisbane, it's not over yet. Toby having to fight off the Osman, and Toby just not finding the pace here on the cold track, on the soft tyres. And Osman is all up and in his business. Osman in the on the cockpit with his giving him a wave from the back there, saying, do you remember me? I was here at the beginning of the season. I dipped off a little bit, but I'm back. And I'm better than ever. So Osman putting the pressure down on Toby, and Grasshopper in the mix as well. Remember, he's looking for his highest finish. He wants a top 4 finish here with Victor in 6th, Toten in 7th. Unforgiven slipping back behind Toten, is he? And now Neil Farmack is getting a lovely tow from Unforgiven. He's going for the move. And that's the problem with it. It's such a long straight that you go for the move, you might give the tow back. So it's softly, gently as you try and make the overtake down here, and it's a beautiful one for Neil Farmack. Decisive. No playing, but Unforgiven trying to get the drive back on Neil, but I think Neil's done the deed, and that is Unforgiven down into 9th place now. Fitzy, he's got the pace. We saw it in qualifying, and he can come back into this race with Kenny D not quite linking up with the track. So far, Bailey and Brisbane. Brisbane's got a half a second penalty. Toby is in the mix again, and he's bringing Osman along for the shees and giggles. So Osman Grasshopper in it as well to survive. He is on the rear derriere of the Osman and Toby as Brisbane heads towards that penalty. I don't know where the penalty line is, in all fairness, but Bailey, he can't make a break of it. He cannot cut Bailey dry. Bailey is staying with him, but the Nissan is defying. Brisbane going off-road and all sorts. He is slinging Nissan, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it. It's all or nothing. It is foot to the metal. He is not playing. And Toby there, still under pressure from Osman. Osman chipping away at the alien. Grasshopper right in the mix. Victor finding some more pace since qualifying, and now he is in it as well. We're on lap 3 of 14, and I didn't even tell you the race format, but to tell you the truth, round 9, if you don't know it by now, then you're crazy. Victor then in 6th, Toten 7th. Unforgiven is back ahead of Neil Farmack. Fantastic stuff from Unforgiven, but Neil Farmack pulling the same move again, and I'm not sure what happened there. Neil Farmack must have made a small mistake elsewhere, and it's almost dangerous with Kenny D and Unforgiven going wide in that corner. And does that give Fitzy of the leverage he needs to get ahead? Oh, it's side by side for Unforgiven and Fitzy, but Unforgiven is the man who stays ahead in the end. My good golly gosh, look at the racing down here for 8th, 9th and 10th. It is tight. It's tighter than a duck's rear derriere. Now Bailey should have paid that penalty, or he's just about to pay the penalty, and it's good. He's got some space from Toby. It's not going to be an easy overtake for Toby, just to close in on his man. And he has closed in nicely with the Osman as well. And these three now are going to battle royale, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats. It's going to get spicy. Brisbane, Toby, Osman, all duking it out for the same piece of tarmac. Grasshopper is right on their rear derriere as well, and Victor coming to life, bringing his countryman Toten with him. Neil Farmack still ahead, and Fitzy's got the move done. No, they're side by side still, are Unforgiven and Fitzy, and Fitzy and Unforgiven are really having their moment in the sun right now, and Fitzy gets the job done, and he's ahead of Unforgiven. But Unforgiven, we've seen lining him up for this straight, and he's on the straight now. He got a little knock on the rocks there, and has that taken the wind out of his sails, and he cannot get that toe. If he does get the toe, it's going to be too late down this straight, and that's Unforgiven. He really needed a clean exit of that corner, in all fairness, and he didn't quite get it, and he couldn't get the toe of Fitzy. Neil Farmack, he's done a hit and run. He is out of it. Toten still on his fellow countryman's tail, and there is no love lost here between the Hungarians and Osman on Grasshopper. Osman slipped back. Osman, oh my word. Oh my geez. So Grasshopper, he's in the 4th place, ladies and gentlemen. He's in that 4th spot. Can he keep hold of it? Well, Osman's going to have a lot to say about that, I am sure. But Grasshopper at the moment setting camp in 4th place and building barriers. Brisbane, meanwhile, he's lost his place to Toby. Did we see that? We didn't see it. I am sorry. I should go back, but there's going to be blinding racing to come, and we can't be here all day now, can we? Bailey again on an absolute murderous drive. He is slaughtering this one. Toby trying to get as maximum points as he can, not to let Bailey run away with the, to catch him up in the championship. It's going to be tight when the points are dropped, I tell thee. And Brisbane at the moment giving Toby a lot to think about. Oh no, that wasn't the button I was looking for. I wanted to look back. There you go. Know your buttons thingy. Oh, it's because I like to use the keyboard, but you can't do it for replays because Kaz, he's not that intelligent, it seems. So Brisbane then chasing down Toby. He's getting a toe now on this straight. We're on lap 5 of 14. This race is flying by, and he's getting a good toe. Oh my God, it's going to be down to ball size in this corner. And my good golly gosh, did you see Brisbane's? They were huge. But did it work? It didn't work, unfortunately. Big ball move, but it didn't stick. So too late on the brakes, one would say. But he's not lost too much ground. He's still there, and it is a distraction for Toby. When he sees a car come flying past him and thinks he's been beaten in the braking zone, it could pressure him into a mistake. Grasshopper is gently oozing away from Osman. So Grasshopper has the pace, he has the gall, he has the determination. And Brisbane again on the attack of Toby, and this works lovely for Bailey, who has just built himself up a huge buffer again. Grasshopper in 4th, Osman 5th place, with Toten in 6th. Oh, Toten's got past Victor. Oh my God, I'm missing all the overtakes. I do apologise. So that's Toten then, and he's way ahead of Victor. Victor must have got a penalty, I reckon. And Neil Farmack is the next man aiming in on Victor. Victor at the moment, though, drawing 3rd with his teammate Smith. And there is no Agent Smith today. God knows what he thinks he's got better to do than race this championship. It's a disgrace. And Neil Farmack then closing in on the Hungarian. And I mean, do you know what? Oh, and Victor there having a knock with those stones. And that is an easy one for Neil Farmack. He's grabbing a toe. Why not? But yeah. Victor slightly limping down the straight, and that gives Neil Farmack the opportunity to get himself ahead, and now he can concentrate on Toten, that's ahead of him as well. And don't forget Fitzy, who has pace, is coming through the field as well after his earlier spin. Unforgiven in 10th place, doing absolutely cracking lap times, but no one to race. They don't want to race him, they've left him behind. And Kenny D just not quite cracking it with this track at the moment, but it's getting closer. Bailey at the moment at 49.5 is his fastest. He did a 50 last time around. Everything looks okay. Tyres and fuel, well, I mean, they never run out of fuel in the first race, but Toby still ahead, maintaining with Brisbane. In fact, if anything, Toby has probably pulled a little bit more out on Brisbane there for a security buffer, because Brisbane is absolutely dangerous today. He's got the grip between his teeth, and he is driving like an absolute maniac. And I am here for it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a critique. It's an absolute glorious sight, but oh dear, Grasshopper and Osman are catching up Brisbane. Brisbane overdriving the car. Grasshopper gets through. Grasshopper up into 3rd. My good golly gosh, stop the press. But Brisbane's coming back at the Grasshopper. He's on the inside of him, and Brisbane claims the 3rd spot back again. And Osman trying to instrument himself into this race as Toten has caught the pack up again, and it is an absolute balls to the wall as Toby runs away from that battle, and Brisbane then runs away as well. Grasshopper under threat from the Osman. The Osman will reign supreme again as he chases down Grasshopper, but Grasshopper knows what to do. He's late on the brakes, but Osman goes for the apex. But Grasshopper is holding it around the outside, and now Grasshopper will get the apex coming into the next corner and should stay ahead of the Osman. What cracking racing, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, these guys are pro sim racers, and that is why it is so entertaining to watch. No space between cars, going through corners. This is what you don't pay for, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even care if you like and subscribe. That doesn't interest me whatsoever. Just the fact that you're here witnessing what I am witnessing is enough. Brisbane slowing back down again. He was pulling away from these guys, and now Grasshopper closing in with Osman right in the fight as well. And I've got an itch. I've got a feeling something's coming this way, and it's gonna make us scream. And so far Bailey leading from Toby. Then we have Brisbane just up there ahead in 3rd place, Grasshopper in 4th, and Osman, who we're on board with, is in 5th place. We've got Toten not too far behind us, breaking down into the blind right-hander. and then heading up over left, and then right blind again. Lots of blind corners here, and then coming into another blind corner. You're just coming in, aiming at the apex and hope for the best, and try not to hit those rocks as you go down the straight. Brisbane trying to break the toe there, and they all move over in following him. I don't know why they do it. It never works. They just move over with you. Toby then, meanwhile, he's pulled away from that fight, but no, Toby's fine. Brisbane, I thought his tyres were wearing, but they're not. They're good. They're good. I'm just being a panicist. Toten then in 6th place, and he's in this fight as well, with Neil Farmack catching him up in 7th, Fitzy in 8th, Unforgiven in 9th, and Victor slipping down to 10th. And Victor is having tyre woes. Victor really struggling with the tyre wear on that Red Bull, with Kenny D picking up a penalty, but Kenny D's tyres staying better placed. So Victor is just going to get chewed up as he did there. Oh, poor Victor, it's not working. The tyres are not working, sir. He's had a few calamities this season with tyres. There was that glitch when he was driving like he had hard tyres on, even though it said softs. So Toby in 2nd, Brisbane in 3rd, Grasshopper 4th, Osman 5th, and there's nothing between the three of them as they come through the first couple of corners, and Brisbane is clinging on to his 3rd spot here, with Grasshopper and Osman truly in a fight. Toten just keeping an eye on what go on ahead of him. He's got Neil Farmack though closing in, so he can't be no slouch. And again, he's seeing an opportunity when he sees these two cars draw alongside each other. Toten gets slightly excited, thinking that there is a way past. But oh, and now Toten getting a lovely toe from Osman, who I think he may have lost a toe to Neil, or he's not getting as good a toe off of Grasshopper, sorry. And Toten trying to pull alongside the mild 7 Benetton Nissan, but no, unable to do so. Maybe needs an oil change. So Osman managing to stay just... Oh, not that camera. And Grasshopper under immense pressure. Grasshopper has been all the way through this race. Like I said, Grasshopper's best finish this season so far has been 5th place. So he is looking to get that 4th is going to be something special. Absolutely a show of growth. And Osman trying to break his dreams, with Toten just there as well, ganging up on him. Neil Farmack has finally arrived on the back of that crazy crew, and he is going to be looking to do some damage. Fitzy as well, with the pace we saw with him being 3rd on the grid. We know Fitzy has the pace in this race to take it to them. Unforgiven has stayed with the pack. Kenny D now ahead. Well, we saw him moving ahead of Victor. Victor still with 4 laps to go and having absolute grip problems out there in the Red Bull. Bailey, meanwhile, smooth, calm and collected. This could be James Bond. We would not know. The size of that Nissan's wing is ridiculous, isn't it? It really is. It's a surfboard. And Toby seems okay from Brisbane. They're doing 50.6 there for Toby last time around. Brisbane doing a 50.0, so taking half a second out of Toby. But I imagine Toby is he knows what's going on. He's probably just keeping control of the race. Doesn't want to do anything silly, push it too far, make a mistake. He's probably worked out he only has to finish behind Bailey for the rest of the season to take that championship. I haven't done any permutations or anything like that. I like to take it as a surprise as it comes. But Bailey at the moment doing everything he can to try and take the championship away from Toby. And Toby, he looks like he's just controlling the situation. Everything is cool. Everything's smooth. Running around in a stolen police car, eating Scooby snacks. Osman in fourth place with Toten in fifth. Grasshopper, oh no, Grasshopper's dropped down to sixth and we missed it. Should we go back? It's probably been a while ago. It was probably down that straight one at the other side of the track. Oh, poor old Grasshopper, he slipped to the back of that pack. And he's still in this fight though. He's with his teammate Neil Farmack. And Fitzy is in there as well. It's racing up and down the field, ladies and gentlemen. Brisbane has broken away a little bit. Brisbane a 49.8 against a 51.0. Has Toby got problems? 51.0, he's gone almost a second slower, 2 seconds slower? Nah, a second and a bit slower than, no, 2 seconds, sorry. Yeah, it's virtually a 50, no, and that's a 51. All right, in a second. Come on, I'm going to argue over a few tenths. So Brisbane really is starting to push the matter, but Brisbane is using up his tyres. There's 3 laps left after this lap. So Brisbane should be okay, but his tyres are taking more of a hit than Toby is at this point. Osman, clean and clear in fourth. Grasshopper going for the move back on Toten. Grasshopper absolutely dicing and slicing, and he's back up and into fifth place, a position he's quite comfortable with, it seems. Toten then down into sixth with Neil Farmack, Fitzy all in the action as well. On board with Fitzy, sitting in 8th place as you come down that hill. That is scary, like a roller coaster. Oh, Toten's lost it. Toten's lost it. He went a little wide. He went onto the dirt, and he gained the car. He didn't lose the car totally. He's trying to keep that inside apex to try and protect from Fitzy, but then come this corner, Fitzy is like taking candy from a Hungarian baby. Oh no, they're still side by side. I apologise. Oh God, what am I doing with all these buttons? Too many buttons for me to be in control of. So Toten maintains and keeps his position ahead of Fitzy, but Fitzy right on his bumper. He's on his 6 and he is looking to do some damage. Unforgiven, staying with the pace but not getting in the action, and it must be frustrating for him as he sees Fitzy and Toten go back at it again. And that's Fitzy now making the move. Toten's on the inside though, and Toten not giving a single quarter. Toten with his elbows out, he is fighting, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen 2 Pro Sim drivers want it more? They are fighting over 7th and 8th. Every position counts, ladies and gentlemen. Fitzy then gets that 7th with Toten in 8, but Toten with the toe down the long straight, and Toten will be trying to inject some fury into this overtake and get the move done on Fitzy once and for all. He pulls out and he makes Fitzy take the inside line. And will it work for him? Fitzy at the moment ahead, and Fitzy does stay ahead of Toten. But Toten, I see what you were doing there, son. I like it. And this is helping Unforgiven. Now Unforgiven is back in play, ladies and gentlemen. Unforgiven gets to have a Dyson slice as well. Kenny D in 10th with Victor struggling with tyres in 11th. Bailey still leads as he starts lap 13, sorry. I was looking at the clock. Lap 13 then, 2 laps to go. He's on his penultimate lap. Toby still ahead of Brisbane, but for how long? Toby, last time around, a 50.9 from Toby. Brisbane a 51.0, so yeah, the tyres might start hurting Brisbane now. He might be feeling the pinch on the grip. Osman, though, good tyres, 2 laps to go. Do not count him out for a podium, ladies and gentlemen. This could be Osman trying to reclaim back 3rd place in the championship. No Smith, no Victor. This is an easy run, but he's got Brisbane ahead of him, and he is some 8 points behind him in the championship. That's not 8 points worth though. It's a point ahead. So Osman in a great position to retake 3rd in the championship, I believe. Toby chasing down Bailey, trying not to let him score too many points. Grasshopper in that 5th spot. Man alive, if he could get up to 4th, we could have a spin out in the top 4 and get our man Grasshopper situated where he should be. Neil Farmack, his teammate, just behind him in 6th place. Everything's pretty good out there. Fitzy setting chase. He is ahead of Toten now, and pulling away from him, trying to set about Neil Farmack. The tyres, they're pretty much similar all the way down. Unforgiven probably feeling tyre wear a little more than the guys ahead of him, and Kenny D doing okay, but just not quite finding that pace here. And poor old Victor absolutely being destroyed by his soft tyres. Bailey, meanwhile, crossing the line to start the final lap, and was he even bothered? Was he even disturbed? Did anyone give him any hassle in this race? It has been smooth going all the way. Toby, meanwhile, has had to fight his way up to 2nd place, and he has Brisbane haunting him all the way around. And Osman now, with better tyres, is starting to pile on the pressure for Brisbane. One small mistake and it's Osman's podium. He's gone faster than he's gone before. He is closing up on Brisbane. Brisbane's struggling now. Brisbane definitely struggling for grip, and it's Osman who's got the stronger car at the end of the race, and Osman is really starting to put the pressure on Brisbane. Can he survive? We've got that long straight we're just coming around to after this left-hander, and then it's Osman's turn to go all out to try and get past the NASCAR representative, and Osman then in the tow. When will he pull that trigger? Brisbane pulling over to try and break the tow and make Osman go the long way round, and I think Osman's going to have a better braking situation in this corner than Brisbane has, but at the moment Brisbane stays ahead of Osman. And Osman's running out of corners, ladies and gentlemen. He is running out of corners to get done what he needs to get done. Bailey, meanwhile, on his way through the final chicane. And Bailey then, what an absolute drive. What an absolute banger. 3 rounds in a row for Bailey on the win front. And he really is chasing the end of this race. And then we have Toby coming around, and Brisbane still ahead of Osman. Osman gave it his all, but they just didn't have it in the end to be able to get past Brisbane in 3rd, Osman 4th, Grasshopper finishing in 5th place ahead of his teammate Neil Farmack in 6th, Fitzy 7th, Toten in 8th, Unforgiven in 9th, Kenny D bringing it on home for 10th spot. And Victor, poor Victor, with those tyres, coming home in 11th, which is good for Smith, but Smith's not here scoring at all, so any points is better than nout. So first for Bailey, Toby finishing in 2nd. That championship is going, they're going to have to play rock, paper, scissors at the end of the season for this championship, I think. Brisbane, a fine podium for him, and more points. Osman finishing in 4th, so I think that jumps him ahead of at least the Red Bulls and keeps him ahead of Brisbane possibly. Grasshopper finishing in 5th place, and that 4th was very close though. Neil Farmack jumping up the grid from 10th to 6th. What a great drive from Neil Farmack. Fitzy in 7th, unfortunately, with that small spin, and it was for nothing. Came from nothing, and that really hurt him in that race. Toten in 8th. And he was in the races, wasn't he, ladies and gentlemen? Unforgiven finishing in 9th spot, dropping a couple of positions from his grid. Kenny D finishing in 10th, ahead of Victor, who came home in 11th place. Wowzers, ladies and gentlemen, that was a cracking race, and we've got another one. We've got another sprint race using medium and hard tyres, and they have to use at least one of those compounds for 2 laps. Let us try and crack on as quickly as possible. Where's it going to put me? I never know. So I've got to go down to collection, and then I've got to go over here. and then I got to go down here, not there, here. Now, don't look at the results, ladies and gentlemen. They should tell you the starting results, not the finishing results. It's a real bugbear. I have to mention it every time it loads in. I won't one day. I'll just not say nothing. And then you'll all read the list and say, oh, race was spoiled before it even started. We saw all the finishing positions. Yeah, not my problem. Stop moaning. Why have I gone to camera? Look at me. I think I'm doing a grid walk. Look, I've been to work, okay? I'm not firing on all of my cylinders. If I was a V8, I'm using 4 of the cylinders of the V8, okay? I'm like a modern F1 car. I'm slightly hybrid at the minute on caffeine. So Unforgiven is our man. Oh God, let's get rid of them. Unforgiven is our man starting on pole, and he's starting with the hard tyre, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. Once you start at the beginning, usually it's they like to start on the mediums and pull away. Kenny D, he knows the score. He's starting in second on the mediums. Victor will be starting third. He has opted for a set of mediums. So Unforgiven is going to be absolutely hounded at the beginning of this race. Toten, he's decided for a set of hard tyres. Interesting. Then we have Fitzy starting in 5th, and he has opted for a set of hard tyres as well. My good golly gosh. Neil Farmack also with hard tyres. Grasshopper starting in 7th. And he has opted for the medium tyres. Grasshopper looking like he wants to get business doing early doors. Osman starting in 8th. And he has opted for a hard set of tyres against Brisbane. Also starting on hard tyres. Toby starting on the medium tyres. So Toby looks like he wants to try and make his way through the pack, as Bailey starting on the hard tyres. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars starting on with hards on, and 1, 2, 3, 4 starting with the mediums. Interesting. Then we'll not waste any more time, and we will crack on. Unforgiven leading them away. Is this a win on the cards for Unforgiven? He had the pace. He wasn't slow in that race, but he has other hard tyres. Remember, everyone behind him, Kenny and Toten on the... No, Toten's on hard tyres as well. Medium. Who else was on the mediums behind there? Someone going very slow, is it? Victor dropping to the back. Possibly, yeah. So Unforgiven leads while he can, while the tyres are still cold. Kenny D on those mediums, and he has Toten on the hards behind him. Fitzy on the hard tyres, and then we have Neil Farmack. Oh, Fitzy's gone wide. Fitzy going wide, and Neil Farmack getting an easy position early doors in this race, and Grasshopper following him through, and Fitzy with the cold hard tyres catching him out, it seems. Osman in 7th, he's on those hard tyres as well, as you see them wiggling around trying to get some temperature into the tyres. No grip whatsoever out there, and Brisbane and Bailey early doors getting into the fighting action. Bailey already getting a position off of Brisbane. Brisbane staying with him though all the way down the straight. Unforgiven still leads from Kenny D. Toten in 3rd. We just want to see how the Bailey-Brisbane fight ends up in this corner, and Bailey just about staying ahead of Brisbane, but Brisbane giving it some big welly coming out the corner, but he just doesn't have the grunt to go up against Bailey, whilst Fitzy, Toby and Osman all duke it out here. Neil Farmack in 5th, Grasshopper in 4th, Toten in 3rd, Kenny D in 2nd, with Unforgiven still leading on those hard tyres. Kenny D not managing to get the moves done on Unforgiven, and Unforgiven loving Kenny D there. He's a backstop for him, but no, Unforgiven made a mistake there, and I'm sure of it. Unforgiven going very wide, and Kenny D getting the move done on Unforgiven as well as Toten. Oh my lord, it's falling apart. Unforgiven staying ahead for a whole lap virtually until the final corner, and going wide, and it's released the floodgates. Kenny D up, Toten into 2nd, Grasshopper in 3rd, Unforgiven slipping down into 4th, just ahead of Neil Farmack, with Toby looming large his teammate. If he can get himself ahead of Neil Farmack, I'm sure the call will be made for Unforgiven to move over and allow his teammate through. The championship is too close to mess about. Grasshopper at the moment sitting in third place. Why? Who else has dropped? Fitzy again, is it? My gosh. Kenny D still leads with Toten in second. No, Grasshopper's up ahead of Unforgiven. That's why he's up into third. So Unforgiven trying to keep Neil Farmack behind and slightly help his teammate out. I don't think he's got the awareness, though, of that in the race. But Unforgiven under pressure from Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack also on the hard tyres, as is Unforgiven. And oh, there's movement up here between Grasshopper, Toten. Grasshopper making a move on Toten, and Toten slipping down even further. Grasshopper on those medium tyres, that's why he's not playing. And now Toten and Neil Farmack duking it out. Neil Farmack getting ahead of Toby. Unforgiven it is who slipped down even further with those hard tyres. It is the second lap. This is like the minimum laps they have to do on the hard tyre. So Unforgiven might duck into the pits at the end of this lap. He is dropping like a brick at the moment. Neil Farmack up and fighting Toby. Toten in third, and Grasshopper disappearing into the distance with Kenny D, as they both started on the medium tyres, and they have said see you later to the rest of the pack. Toten in third, under pressure from Toby. Toby, remember, 6 wins in the last 6 rounds. Oh, and Toby and Toten going side by side, and oh my good golly gosh, we'll have another look, shall we? Because there was devastation and carnage. Oh, I'm not sure there was enough space there, and oh, as Toten tried to come back on the track, he collected Neil Farmack, was it? And where is Neil Farmack now? Oh, Neil Farmack down there with damage, Toten as well, and that just seemed unfortunate to me, with Fitzy then trying to get past Brisbane. So how's Toby doing after all of that? He seems to be fine. He doesn't seem to be shaken up at all. So Toby, he could well be called to the steward's room after that. I'm not sure. It was a heavy blow, and I'm sure he'll say racing incident. He was ahead. I think he was slightly ahead of Toten. Probably had the call. It's one of those grey areas, isn't it? It's a Max Verstappen move, if ever there was one. Grasshopper going for the lead now, ahead of Kenny D. So Grasshopper now takes the lead of this race, with Kenny D in second. But Kenny D putting a fight up for it. Tyre smoke disappearing over the horizon as these two gladiators do battle. Toby in third. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of room there, but, you know, I don't think it was a legal move. We'll see. And Unforgiven then back up into fourth. Bailey with a penalty, but he's going into the pits. He is getting rid of those hard tyres, as is Brisbane, as is Fitzy. Poor Toten. Poor Toten. Set in chase. Toby still, oh no, he's on the medium tyres, and he's going a lot faster than the guys ahead of him. He's just on a 51.7 against a 52.8 by Kenny D, and Grasshopper 51.8. That's not bad. That is not bad. It's only a tenth slower than Toby's fastest lap there. Unforgiven a 55.1, and he stayed with the hard tyre on lap 4. Osman also staying with the hard tyre into this race. Neil Farmack also sticking with the hard tyre onto lap 4, and Toten also sticking with that hard tyre. Then we have Brisbane in 8th place. He's gone to the medium tyres, and he's ahead of Bailey again. That is extraordinary. I'm sure Bailey came into the pits ahead of Brisbane, and somehow Brisbane getting out ahead of Bailey, with Fitzy also pitting at the same time as those heavy hitters onto the mediums. Now these three broken away from the pack somewhat, and they'll be just getting their head down, cracking on with those lap times, and hoping when the pit stops happen ahead of them, they're going to be ahead of the pack. Lap 4 of 14, round 9, race 2 of the GRSC. League of Champions for the Ultimate Racing League. And what a banger again. Another banger happening before our very eyes. Grasshopper leads from Kenny D. Both of them starting on the mediums, and Toby is catching them up now. And these three starting on the medium tyre, and they have pulled away. There is Unforgiven on the hard, but Osman looks like he's going to get the move done. Oh no, Osman comes in. Osman comes in. I apologise. Unforgiven and Neil Farmack staying out with their hard tyres. They're taking those hard tyres late into the race. It looks like Unforgiven has picked up a little damage. He's had a knock. He's had a fender bender. It's fixed itself now as Osman goes into the pits. And Brisbane, this is where we'll see where Brisbane, Bailey and Fitzy are relative to the other guys. Osman was sitting in, what was he in, 5th? So Brisbane coming down the start straight. It says he's ahead. Bailey, Osman still not moving, but he is now. It can be deceiving. It's putting back ahead of Brisbane. No, there's Brisbane, there's Bailey, there's Osman, there's Fitzy. It's tight. Osman right in the mix of it, and fresher rubber. But, one lap fresher rubber, it's not a huge thing. Brisbane at the moment overdriving the Nissan again. We know what happened last time he did that. And Bailey closing in on our man, Brisbane. Osman in the mix, waiting for his tyres to get up to temperature. And Fitzy wants to get stuff done before Osman's tyres come in. Grasshopper still leads this race. Lap 5 of 14 done. Kenny D on his hilt, and Toby chasing them up as well. We're whacking out those fastest laps one after another. Grasshopper 51.5 last time out, Kenny D 52.4, and Toby a 51.3. So a couple of tenths faster than Grasshopper. Unforgiven, his teammate in 4th place, still on the hard tyre, with Neil Farmack as well opting to stay on the hard tyre quite late in this race. Brisbane and Bailey duking it out, and it's almost fireworks with these two together. And will they burn their tyres out racing? I doubt it. They were both good with, well, Brisbane was starting to hurt the soft tyres. He loves to slide it around the corners, doesn't he? He loves to extinguish that grip as quickly as he possibly can. Now we've got Unforgiven and Neil Farmack making their pit stops. That might be that we've just got Grasshopper, Kenny and Toby. We did lose, I meant to have mentioned, we lost Victor early doors, but he was never there from the start. So it looks like he's quit out. We've had another quit as well, because we had 11 and we're down to 9. So we'll try and find out who that was. So Grasshopper leads, Kenny D in 2nd, Toby in 3rd. Neither of these have stopped yet. They'll be wanting to stop around lap 12 just to do the 2 laps on the hard tyres. And Kenny D is a lovely backstop for Grasshopper at the moment, keeping Toby at bay. Then we have Brisbane and Bailey absolutely slinging Nissan to try and get into the battle of the lead. Osman fighting off Fitzy with Unforgiven. And Neil, Toten. We've lost Toten, and we've lost 3, which is Toten, Victor. I can't think of another one. No, we've lost 2 because it's 11 though. So sorry, yeah, we've lost 2. The 2 Hungarians. It might have been internet. You never know. So Grasshopper leads. Toby now ahead of Kenny D. Toby got the move done, and now there is nothing holding him back from attacking the Grasshopper. And Grasshopper just trying to stay firm, calm and collected under immense pressure, although he was under a lot of pressure in the first race, and he just soaked it up like the sponge that he is. Bailey and Brisbane absolutely tooth and nail at it. 51.5 from Bailey with a 51.4 from Brisbane. Osman and Fitzy still in the fight with them. Unforgiven's coming out the pits, not that far behind. This fight is wide open with Neil Farmack just behind Unforgiven. So it's just Toby, Grasshopper and Kenny that have not pitted in this race, and I imagine we won't see them pit for a good fair while yet. Grasshopper 52-1 that last time around. He's using his tyres up, and so is Toby. Hey, it might be too early for the guys that have pitted onto the hard tyre. Maybe the mediums aren't that good. Bailey ahead of Brisbane. That wasn't that way, was it? It was Brisbane ahead of Bailey. Hang on. Jesus. Was he ahead? He must have been ahead. Sorry, I've jumped 40 seconds then. So yeah, Bailey is... I thought for some reason Brisbane was ahead of Bailey, but he probably was. Brisbane picking up a penalty, and Osman would be very pleased about that, as will Fitzy. They're both right there in the wake. And Bailey at the moment under pressure. Remember, he's got to score as many points. Sorry, I left that up. That's awful. He's got to score as many points as he possibly can. Brisbane getting a tow, but he does carry a penalty. So even if he does get by, it's not likely that he's going to keep it as they come out into the dusky morning. And Brisbane trying to go around the outside of Bailey. Bailey going a little wide, coming out the corner. And Brisbane gets the move done, but he does have that penalty. So I don't think Bailey too concerned about what Brisbane does at the moment. Oh, no. Bailey's hit his car somewhere. He's got damage. Didn't even notice him hit anything. So, yeah, that's why we've seen Brisbane shoot forward. But now Brisbane has got to pay the piper. And Bailey will collect. Osman in the wake. I'll tell you what, Brisbane, he was looking like under threat for being overtaken by Osman and Fitzy, and I think he's managed to pull himself far enough away to not get hurt by them. I mean, I think Bailey's going to scoot by quite easily, but Osman and Fitzy might just catch Bailey up by the end of the straight, but not get by. So Brisbane, not bad. Got the penalty done and really didn't lose too much about it. Now he's all over the back of Bailey again. Lap 8 of 14, and these guys are hard at it. Kenny D in third, Toby in second. Grasshopper still leads, and he's still got a healthy lead on Toby. The tyre is around about half worn on the right-hand front side of the Nissan, and it's very similar to Toby's. It's drivable, but I imagine they would like more grip, and Kenny D came in there like a force to be reckoned with. Bailey ahead of Brisbane with Osman right in the shout as well. And at this point in the race, you can't call who's going to win. Unforgiven in 8th place ahead of Neil Farmack. These guys will be hoping that the top 3 end up behind them. Grasshopper kicking up dirt as he makes his way around using every single bit of the track and then some. Toby trying to stay in the fight with Grasshopper as Kenny D makes his way around. Bailey 4th, and he's pulling away from Brisbane. Brisbane now in the clutches of Osman and Fitzy. And Brisbane has got a fight on his hand here with Osman and Fitzy keeping a very close... Ooh, hang on. That was a lovely little shot there. On board with the Fitzy. As you see, Brisbane now, is that tyre wear? Is Brisbane starting to struggle? I don't think so. I don't think his tyres are worn that much. Fitzy catching the car there, coming out of the corner. These Nissans, a very loose rear end under acceleration. And we've seen it absolutely spank a couple of these guys more than on one occasion. And up over the hill we go. On board with Fitzy. He really is fighting his way here just behind Osman and Brisbane. Fitzy mixing it with the big boys. Fitzy was one of the only others to have a win this season. An exclusive club of 5. And he's trying to close in on Osman at the moment. So the battle between Grasshopper and Toby, how goes it? Toby not quite closing in on the Grasshopper. Toby 52.0 last time out. Grasshopper 51.9. There's nothing in it between the pair of them. But yeah, we thought Toby was going to rock up to the back of Grasshopper, and it has not happened. They've both stayed out again. Both opting not to go for the hard tyre yet. And I tell you what, the times are close to the hard tyre running. I'm sure of it. What were these guys doing on the hard tyre? 53. Ooh. Well, Unforgiven was one of the last. Yeah, it was around 51s, wasn't it? Oh, 54, 55, 55. Yeah, maybe the hard tyre is a lot slower. At the moment, doing 51s on the mediums is pretty good. So Neil Farmack doing great guns, but find himself in last position. And Unforgiven trying to stay ahead with Grasshopper, Toby and Kenny D yet to make their pit stop. Remember, a minimum of 2 laps, so at least at the end of lap 12 they will have to come in if they can survive that long. But the tyres are starting to look treacherous out there. So Grasshopper and Toby, it's got to be crossing their mind. They're in the 52s, 51.7 for Grasshopper, 52.7 for Toby, 53.0 for Kenny D. Bailey, steady 51s, and he's left Brisbane behind, who's under threat. Osman now. No, Osman through, but Brisbane's on the inside, coming back at him. And they're on that straight now, and Osman will be trying to get a tow. He can't get a tow because he's up alongside him. There you go. Now he's found a tow. And a tow just to stay ahead of Fitzy as well, because Fitzy is looming large in 7th place. And at the moment, Osman trying to get the job done on Brisbane on the outside. Brisbane keeping the inside under control, and he stays in 5th place ahead of Osman, and Fitzy draws closer. The top 3 have all taken this moment to come in. Grasshopper, Toby and Kenny D. Excuse me, I was going to try and mute before I sneezed and I ran out of time. I apologise. So, where is it? Where are they? Where are they in the grand scheme of things? There's no chat today. It's so bizarre. I'm so used to people having saying hello. So Bailey, everyone's in bed, isn't they? Saturday morning lay-in, why not? Bailey is ahead of Kenny D. Is he though? Grasshopper's out. Grasshopper's out on the hard tyres. Toby's out on the hard tyres. No, Toby's broken the penalty. He's done something wrong in the pits. He's picked up 3 seconds. Oh, gosh. Bailey is championship contender. His closest rival sitting behind him. And Toby's lost the back end. It's all gone wrong. My gosh. Bailey's through. Bailey is through. Don't you dare overtake Grasshopper. You leave Grasshopper alone, Bailey. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. They broke my heart last week with Toten going off the road and throwing away a win. I want to see Grasshopper on that top step. Bailey, though, under immense pressure all race. And he came out of the pit. I mean, Toby came out of the pits ahead of him. But Toby picking up a huge penalty. And then, with the cold, hard tyres, losing control under the bridge. And giving up his spot to Bailey, with Kenny D and Brisbane in the picture to pick up that position. Toby could be getting very much hurt in this race. This could be a big one. A big turning point in the championship. Brisbane getting himself past Kenny D. Kenny D on those hard tyres now, although the medium runners are starting to look pretty much ropey. Osman ahead of Fitzy, Unforgiven in 8th place, with Neil Farmack in 9th. Grasshopper leads. He's on the hard tyres. He's got a huge job. Let's not get our hopes up too much. And Bailey could do with the points in this championship. And there we go. Here's Toby paying that huge penalty. God-awful penalty. But he's only lost Brisbane's position. No, Kenny D, Osman, they're all coming through. And Toby on those hard tyres, it's going to be almost impossible to mount an attack on the guys ahead of him. The only thing he can take solace from is their tyres are hurting quite a lot. And Kenny D on the hard tyres is trying to slow the field down for him. And Brisbane as well, tyres very old. Bailey, old tyres. Grasshopper, lap 12 of 14. No one wants to get their hopes up. No one wants to get their hopes up. Grasshopper at the moment, every nerve ending he has is going to be on alert. He's going to have that itchy skin, the heart pumping in his throat. This is a tricky situation. Like I said, his highest finish so far this season has been 5th place. I talked that at the beginning of the round, it'd be good to see him get at least 4th. And at the moment, he is sitting in 1st place, and he's done nothing wrong in this race whatsoever. But Bailey, unfortunately, needs the points. Brisbane and Osman and Kenny D battling it out. Osman on an old set of medium tyres, Kenny D on a new set of hards, and it was no contest whatsoever. Toby in 6th with Fitzy in 7th, Unforgiven in 8th. Neil Farmack trying to get that move. He's been looking at the back of Unforgiven's car for far too long now, and he wants to get a move done before the end of this race. Lap 12 of 14, we've got Grasshopper leading, Bailey in 2nd. Bailey at 51.6 last time out. Grasshopper still doing outlaps. It's hard to tell. He's coming up, but it's still, I don't know if this is a true representation. 52.2, that's not bad, that's not bad. Bailey at 51.3, he's getting ever closer. Don't you dare overtake my Grasshopper. Oh, I'll be so mad with you, Bailey. Brisbane in 3rd spot, Osman in 4th, Kenny D in 5th. Toby might be able to attack. Oh, he's in trouble. Fitzy, Unforgiven, and Neil Farmack behind Toby with such force. But Toby's doing okay, 53.9 that last time around, but he did pay a hefty penalty, remember. Kenny D also on the hard tyres, just ahead of Toby, and it's about the championship for Toby. Half a second penalty for Osman at the moment. Brisbane getting through his tyres, but we are on the penultimate lap. Bailey in the tow. Bailey's found the toe now. He's closed up right up to the back of Grasshopper. Grasshopper has just got to keep his calm. He's got to stay cool. He's got to stay collected. He's got to stay ahead of Bailey. The win is his. He has done enough for the win, but Bailey, he's thinking of the championship, and it's no time for soft touches and hand-me-outs. Bailey is cruising for blood, and unfortunately Grasshopper is in his way. Brisbane, though, in 3rd spot with Osman carrying that half a second penalty. Kenny D is now set to have a lot of stress in his life from the Toby. Unforgiven in 7th, teammates together. Fitzy in 8th. Oh, Fitzy slipped behind Unforgiven somehow. Kenny D doing an absolute cracking job, keeping Tobias behind him, and Osman then paying that penalty. How much is it going to hurt him? Kenny D closing. Oh, it's got a good gap, it has to be said. And Osman looks like he has survived. We're into the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Grasshopper still leads. Keep it together, Grasshopper. Come on, everyone watching, if you just yearn and you hope maybe the power of the people can keep Grasshopper ahead of Bailey, even though Bailey taking no prisoners. He's already had a win this round. He is going for a double win. We've not had that this season. Bailey right on the back of Grasshopper. Grasshopper just has to survive half a lap. He's on the straight. Bailey's backed off a little bit. He's going for the toe, though. And Grasshopper, this is going to be... Oh my God. Bailey's tyres are spent. His fuel is gone. And Grasshopper... Oh, Bailey's fuel's gone. Maybe he has to back off a little bit. And Grasshopper, then he didn't close in the toe, did he? It's because Bailey's probably already picked where he's going to overtake him. So Grasshopper's fuel has started flashing now. Brisbane still in 3rd. Osman in 4th ahead of Kenny D, who's staying ahead of Toby. Unforgiven closing in on Toby with Fitzy in 8th. Neil Farmack in 9th. And it's Grasshopper. Grasshopper still with only 2 corners to go ahead of the... Oh, no. I thought his car had spun out. He lost his car, did he? God knows what happened. Bailey's there, though. My gosh. Grasshopper coming into the final 2 corners ahead of Bailey. No, Bailey's ahead. Bailey is ahead. He's cut the corner. Surely he's going to get a penalty. And Grasshopper comes through. Grasshopper takes the win. Come on, Grasshopper. Absolute cracking stuff. Grasshopper wins. Bailey in second. Brisbane in third. Osman comes home in fourth. Kenny D in fifth. Toby in sixth. Unforgiven seventh. Fitzy in eighth. And Neil Farmack finishing ninth. Oh my God. Golly. Gosh. Ooh. Ooh. Let's all just take a moment. We've all got a little bit excited. And we just need to calm down, don't we? We're grown men, for heaven's sakes. What is happening? Oh, wow, Grasshopper, congratulations. Making it 6 winners this season. Unbelievable stuff. Fantastic. God knows what happened at the end there. Bailey kind of come past. You made a small mistake. Bailey got up alongside, but then it looked like Bailey went way over the apex of the corner, and I don't know if he backed off just because he thought he might get a penalty, and that would be like a huge penalty, a 1-second penalty, and it might have put him behind Brisbane. So maybe he was thinking clever and lifted. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Whew. So in the chat, we was joined in the chat in the end by Vodka Rob, saying good morning. I was here, but I was just cleaning up after the pensioner dog. Oh, bless. And Vodka Rob also saying congrats, Grasshopper. Huge well done to Grasshopper. Fantastic racing. Bailey getting second place as well is a huge one. A huge one in the championship, especially with Toby finishing. That's got to be Toby's worst finish, isn't it? 6th place. I don't know. I think it's matched his worst finish. Let me look. He's had a second and a third. He's had a third and a fourth. He's had a first and a second, a first and a second, first and fourth, first and fourth, first and fourth, fourth and first. That is Toby's worst finish. Oof. There is going to be some cats or dogs being kicked last Sunday night. Bailey finishing in second, with Brisbane bringing it home for a double podium. 2 third places there for Brisbane in that race. Great stuff. Great stuff. Duffman in the chat saying morning thing. Well, hello, Duffman. Fitzy, he got himself 8th in that second race, not the round he was hoping, after qualifying 3rd, coming 7th and 8th. What a shame for Fitzy. And then Osman coming home in 4th. 2 4th places there for Osman. Good in the championship against Smithy and Victor. So Osman, I'm pretty sure, will be going back up into 3rd spot of the championship. And then we have Kenny D coming home in 5th. And Kenny D, it wasn't looking like his round, so I imagine he would have taken 5th at the beginning of this race. After Kenny D, we've got Toby in 6th. Like I said, his worst finish to date. And Unforgiven in 7th. His most popular finish. I think he likes 7th. And Fitzy, did I already say Fitzy in 8th? I did. And that's it, isn't it? Oh, and Neil Farmack coming home in 9th place. And we lost Toten and Victor in those second races, unfortunately. What an absolute banger again from the League of Champions, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here today at Thingamajig's Racing Channel, and set yourselves up for next round. I believe it is going to be the 24-hour layout of Spa-Francorchamps. It is a 50-minute race. It's endurance, ladies and gentlemen. They've got to use all 3 compounds and a minimum of 2 laps on each compound. I'm looking at the wrong WEC car. There you go. Grasshopper. Congratulations and welcome to the winner's circle this season. Thank you very much. I was Thingamajig, you were you, and we were great. You were great. Thank you. Tiru, peace and love, peace. Peace and love.